Mic check. More breaking news, let's go. Formula One never sleeps. Not in the last 3 or 4 days, it doesn't anyway. Hello and a big welcome to the channel. I'm the Motorsport Madman and this is F1 breaking news again. This feels like the 3rd day in a row that there's been a driver announcement. This Sebastian Vettel retirement has set off a chain reaction, and this is part 3 in the saga that is becoming the silly season of 2022. Alpine have confirmed Oscar Piastri, their young driver, reserve driver, is to take the place of Fernando Alonso for the 2023 season. And it's all happened so quickly. I cannot believe how quickly this has all happened. Listen guys, right, if you're a Formula 1 fan, get yourself subscribed. New to channel as well, get yourself subscribed, because this isn't really the main content of the channel. This is just, there's been a lot of breaking news and bam, we go on. Why not? But the real content is the live watch-alongs. I'll be back when Formula 1's back in about 3.5 weeks time. It is a summer break at the moment, yeah, but in about 3 weeks it is the Belgian Grand Prix. So get yourself subscribed for that, because we are going to kick on with the second half of the season and it's going to be mint. So yeah, also drop me a like on this video if you do enjoy it. This is mad. This is mad. Driver transfers are going rapid. Welcome to the stream, Ernesto. Welcome in, Matty Parker. Welcome, Asa, to the stream. Mic check. Can you hear me? Yes, Ernesto. Hi, Rob. Yes. Donald, welcome in. Fester as well. Welcome to the stream. StreamYard a bit down the water slide. StreamYard in a bit down the water slide. No StreamYard tonight. But today we're talking about Oscar Piastri. And I reckon if you're not a hardcore fan of Formula 1, or albeit more to the point Formula 2, you may not have heard this young Australian driver. He is the hottest prospect in the young driver market at the moment. And they've snapped him up immediately. He's already a reserve driver for Alpine. And I reckon because of the speed that this has happened, and Fernando Alonso has just dropped him and gone to Aston Martin quick time. In fact, there was some news coming out the other day that Fernando had hinted that he was going to carry on at Alpine, and then just absolutely jump ship as soon as a spot comes available at Aston Martin. Alonso leaves, and I just wonder if there was a little contract, a pre-contract agreement with Oscar Piastri to say, if Ocon leaves us for dust, if Alonso leaves us for dust, you're straight in. Because I'm surprised they've even had time to have contract negotiations. This is bam, next day, you know, out of nowhere. You know, Monday the big announcement, Alonso's going, and by Tuesday afternoon in Australia, by the way, what is it now, early hours of the morning, I reckon it must be 5 a.m. in Australia at the moment. This has already been agreed. But yeah, Alpine signed Oscar Piastri, and I tell you what, I wonder if they've also rushed it because McLaren might have come sniffing. McLaren might have fancied this guy's services for 2023, with Daniel Ricciardo not having a great season. So Alpine have just jumped the gun and gone straight in, bang, next day it's Oscar Piastri. So I'm gonna read the article from racefans.net. Big shout out to racefans.net. It is the best Formula 1 site in the world. Sorry I've not been seeing your streams, I've been busy. Yeah, no worries. Obviously this isn't the main content of the channel, just a bit of a breaking news thing. The main thing is the watch alongs, which will be back in a couple of weeks. Welcome to the stream, Sean. Bit of breaking news in Formula 1, and it's young driver and reigning F2 champion Oscar Piastri to take Alonso's place at Alpine. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have a look at the article. Not even read through it properly, literally. As soon as this news broke, I was like, bang, thumbnail, bang, we're on. You know, literally, it's like that. Breaking news too. You've got breaking news too, have you? Let me know. Right, I'm just not going to be in chat for the next minute or two as we go to the article then. So, Oscar Piastri will make his debut as a full-time Formula One driver in 2023. Alpine have confirmed. This has happened so quick. I can't. You know, there's not been time for rumour and speculation. It's just gone slam. He's in. I think it must have already been pre-agreed. I'm going to be honest. I think it must have been agreed beforehand that if Alonso leaves at short notice or Ocon leaves at short notice, you're the next man in line, and everything's already must have been set up. Clearly. But weirdly, there's not been a statement from Piastri or his media team or whatever. It's just straight from Alpine and only Alpine at the moment. Right, so the reigning Formula 2 champion will join the team in place of Fernando Alonso, who yesterday announced he will move to Aston Martin at the end of the year. So, Oscar Piastri. What's he about? Piastri has had a stunning, rapid rise through the junior categories. He's from Melbourne, Australia, so it's a good one for Tax. Tax, obviously a big Daniel Ricciardo fan, but now you've got a new man on the block. I was saying on the watch-alongs a few weeks ago, it's not all about Daniel Ricciardo for Australia anymore. You've got a new man in Formula One, 21-year-old Oscar Piastri from Melbourne, and he comes off the back of a Formula 2 championship win in his rookie season. He should be in F1 this year. He has found himself on the sidelines just because of how things are. Sometimes you win the F2 championship at the wrong time and there isn't that automatic seat available for you to jump in. He's had to wait on the sidelines this year, but no more waiting on the sidelines for Oscar Piastri, and that's crucial because you're 2 years on the sidelines, 3 years on the sidelines. Things move on, and it's the next guy, and it's about Teo Pourchaire, or it's about the next man coming along, Logan Sargent, or whoever the next man is. So Oscar Piastri needed to get into Formula One next season and has done. And I reckon teams are queuing up. I reckon McLaren might have been on the phone to him if this hadn't been announced rapid, which is another reason why I think it's all been rushed, because they want to get McLaren off the scent immediately. You keep your Daniel Ricciardo, bang, Piastri, we're having him. He's our reserve driver, and now he's going to be taking the place of Alonso. Ocon, Piastri driver lineup for Alpine in 2023 as well. It's a young driver lineup. I think Ocon's only about 23, 24. No more than 25 is he, Ocon. So it's a young lineup as well for Alpine. Right, so let's read this article then. Those unable to return to F2 after his title win. This is another thing. If you're Formula 2 champion, you can no longer compete in Formula 2. It's to stop there being a backlog. It's to keep it fresh. It's to keep it so the next man can come and the next man can come up and the next man can come up. Because if you win the championship and then you just stay there, it just becomes stale. So once he's won the Formula 2 championship, that's it. You've got to move on. You've got to either become a reserve driver, you've got to get that F1 seat, or if that's not available and you're not a reserve driver, you've got to look to other series. You know, some guys have to go to America and all the rest of it. So he is on the sidelines this season, but no more. Alpine therefore appointed him as reserve driver and handed him a series of testing opportunities in last year's car. Sorry, I'm not in the chat at the minute. I'll just read this article and then I'll get back to see what people are saying. Alpine was looking to place him in a rival F1 team for the 2023 season. This is it. They were going to loan him out. If they couldn't put him in a seat for next year, they'd have had to give him to, I don't know, Williams or Aston Martin or whoever. They would have had to, or McLaren even, they would have had to say, right, you've got to get your experience. You can't be on the sidelines for 2 years in a row. You've got to experience somewhere else. But Alonso's dropped a minute, so bang, you're in. They were looking to place him at a rival. However, Alonso's unexpected departure created a vacancy alongside Esteban Ocon, which Piastri will now fill. Oscar is a bright and rare talent, said team principal Otmar Safnauer. We're proud to have nurtured him and supported him through the difficult pathways of the junior formula. Yeah, I think he became a Renault young driver in 2020, I think. I saw, yeah, but through our collaboration of the last 4 years, seen him develop into a mature driver who's more than capable of taking the step up to Formula One. This is the most hyped young driver in the world right now. As our reserve driver has been exposed to the team at the track, factory and testing, where he's shown the maturity, promise and speed to ensure the promotion to a seat in Formula One alongside Esteban Ocon. Together we believe this duo gives us the continuity we need to develop the long-term goal for the championship. Well, that's it, guys. That is the article. What are we saying in chat? What are we saying, guys? Finance a 2K PC. Oh my god, you're going full game mode. Do you think Drugovich will earn a seat in F1? Yeah, sooner rather than later. I think see, the thing is, I'm not an avid follower of Formula 2. I don't watch every single Formula 2 race. I feel like it'd just be overkill if I watch every single Formula 2 race and every single practice session in F1, every single qualifying session, every single race. I'd be like, it'd be too much. So I just kind of catch F2 every now and then. I'm not an absolute avid follower of Formula 2. But Drugovich is a guy. Is he Dutch? Felipe Drugovich, or is he Brazilian? Is he Brazilian? But yeah, he looks like a talent as well, and surely he will. Surely he'll get to Formula One as well sooner rather than later. Smash the like, yes, Sean, smash the like on the video. Welcome in Ryan Tune to the video. A little bit of breaking news in the world of Formula One, as there has been like 3 major announcements in like 5 days, which is mad. Usually these things take weeks. It's like football transfers. Well, it's like Manchester United transfers that there's like rumour of it, and then there's more rumour, and then there's denial, and then another team wants him, and then there's like contract talks break down, and then there's the whole weeks, and they actually call it in Formula One, they actually call it silly season, which is basically just rumours of like, this driver wants to go there, this driver is looking at retiring, this driver and that usually goes on for weeks, and it's usually the whole month of August, September, and into October as well. There's all these negotiations going on for the following season, but this year's just gone bang. Vettel out of nowhere announces his retirement on Thursday. By Monday he's replaced by Fernando Alonso, and by Tuesday afternoon Alonso's been replaced. So it's all happened within 5 days, which is mad. Yes, I appreciate you. What's going in F1 team lineups next year? Yeah, I'll have to get a graphic. That's a good idea, Anto. What I'll do is for the next sort of breaking news thing, I'll have a little graphic with the driver lineups for 2023, because about half the seats are confirmed now, I'd say, or maybe with this more than half the seats are confirmed for 23 now. Obviously the big teams are staying the same for 2023, so Mercedes will be Hamilton, Russell 2023, Ferrari will stay with Leclerc, Sainz, Red Bull staying with Verstappen, Perez obviously given that contract for next year after the Monaco Grand Prix that he won. And then beyond that, then you've got Alpine now confirmed with Ocon, Piastri. McLaren, I think Norris is on a long-term deal. I'm sure Norris has signed like a 5-year deal or something like that. So he'll obviously be at McLaren next year. I think Daniel Ricciardo has a contract for next season. But who knows on Daniel Ricciardo. I think his form will have to... he'll have to finish regularly in the points in the second half of the season, put it that way, to probably to stay on. They'd probably stick with him now, especially with this. I would wager that Daniel Ricciardo will probably keep his seat now, with Gasly already signing up at AlphaTauri for next year, with with the seat being filled immediately at Aston Martin, and with the seat being filled immediately at Alpine. Probably McLaren. McLaren might have to choose, do they want this American guy, this Logan Sargent, or are they going to take a risk on that? But more than likely it'll be Daniel Ricciardo will stay. Do you think Hamilton will retire next year? It's a good question, that. It's a good question. But yeah, just finally on that, Anto, I will make a graphic on the 2023 drivers, who's confirmed, who's not. We might do a video on who's going to take the remaining places, and will Latifi be replaced and stuff like that. But yeah, that's one for another day. But yeah, do I think Hamilton will retire at the end of next year? I think it depends on how the Mercedes W14 is. It depends on Mercedes' form next season as to what Hamilton will do. If they're back on it and he wins the championship next year, he'd probably carry on. Unless he wants to finish on a high like Rosberg did. He could. But if they have another season like this season and they're just third in constructors, and it is what it is, and Verstappen wins another one, or then I don't know though. It's a difficult one. That I think it depends on the form of the Mercedes next year. I think it depends on the form of the Mercedes next year. If they don't get it right, he'd probably think I've had my day. He'd probably think, you know, I've won my championships, I've won my races, and you know, if Verstappen was to win like another one the year after, yeah, that might be it. It depends. But if Mercedes come back strong next year, and you know, and it's Lewis in title contention with George and that, he'd probably say, right, give me another 2 years. You know what I mean? Give me another 2-year deal, and he'll go to his 40. You know, I mean, these drivers are eking out the careers now. I mean, Vettel aside, Vettel's retired at 35, which is a little bit on the young side. But look at like Kimi Räikkönen was he like 42 by the time he retired? You've got Alonso, who's going to go to like 43, 44 at this rate, and then Hamilton, I think, is 37. He turned 38 in January, I believe. So could he go to his 40? Probably. But I feel like if he finds himself dropping off a little bit, he might call it a day. Danny Rick has to fight for his place, as he was great at Red Bull. He's got to fight for it now. He's got it, but then again, the seats are being filled around him. I feel like I said yesterday that I feel like Pierre Gasly signed up too soon for AlphaTauri. He could be looking at the McLaren seat right now if he didn't sign up. He could have had a word with Alpine, but as it is, Pierre Gasly signed up. Daniel Ricciardo would have been a bit relieved about that, I think. Ricciardo be relieved about this breaking news today that Alpine have just jumped at Piastri straight away to put McLaren off the scent. And I think McLaren might have a situation where they go, do we stick with Daniel? He's a 8-time Grand Prix winner. I think he's won 7 or 8 races. You know, he's obviously experienced now. I think I was actually there when Daniel Ricciardo made his debut at the 2011 British Grand Prix. So Ricciardo's been in the sport like, what, 11 and a half, 12 years. So do you stick with that reliable hand, or did they take a risk? You know, did they put a rookie in there? I don't know. I feel like Ricciardo will stay. As long as he doesn't have a disaster of a second half of the season, I think he'll stay. But yeah, the other thing I was going to do is have a little look at Oscar Piastri's career to date, because he is a bit of an unknown. You know, unless you're like a die-hard Formula 2 fan, which it's probably not millions and millions of those out there. Oscar Piastri's not like, I don't know a million and one things about Oscar Piastri. You know, I don't sit here and pretend to be an expert on the career of Oscar Piastri. He's a new name. He's a young, exciting driver. I know that he's very, very hyped. I know that he won 6 races in Formula 2 on his way to the championship. He drove for Prema, replacing Mick Schumacher. Did I watch every single one of his races? No, I didn't. But yeah, let's have a little look at his career up to this point for Oscar Piastri. So he's born 6th of April 2001, so he's 21 years old, from Melbourne, Australia. Obviously did the karting, then Formula 4 in 2016. Then went to Arden, then GP3. Yeah, because the junior series used to be called GP3, GP2, F1, and then they made everything streamlined and called it F1. Then you got F2, F3, F4. That's how it should be. They simplified the whole thing. But yeah, he was in GP3 when it was still called GP3 and not F3. So that was in 2018. December 2018 announced Piastri would be switched to reigning champions RHGP for the 2019. His first victory at Silverstone. So he absolutely rocked it in the junior categories, basically. Then went to Formula 3 in October 2019 with Prema. And he just absolutely smashed it. And then we'll go to Formula 2. So, in December 2020, Piastri was announced that he would continue with Prema into Formula 2. So, he stuck with Prema from Formula 3, went to Formula 2, and replaced Mick Schumacher, who obviously got his promotion to Formula 1 in 2021. So, Piastri replaced Mick Schumacher in the Prema team. And finished 5th in his debut race. In the second race, Piastri started from 6th, made up 8 places, before overtaking Alpine Junior, fellow Alpine Junior Zhou Guanyu. So he's been in the Alpine Junior, what used to be the Renault Driver Academy is now the Alpine Driver Academy, for a few years. And obviously he's Alpine's test and reserve driver for this year in Formula 1. But no longer on the sidelines. But yeah, let's have a look at his record in Formula 2 then. So, let's find it here. So, yeah, so he was 5th in his Formula 2 debut and then won the sprint race in Bahrain. Then comes off the back of that, he got a 19th, 8th, and then back-to-back podiums in Monaco. He had this is the 2021 Formula 2 season. Yeah, then a podium in Baku, podium in Silverstone, then wins in Monza, wins in Sochi, wins in Jeddah, and then a podium at Yas Marina in Abu Dhabi, and then wins the final race this season as well in Abu Dhabi. 6 wins, 252.5 points, which must have been the half points of the Belgian Grand Prix, because that was a washout. But yeah, he was absolutely rocking it. 6 wins, Formula 2 champion. Unfortunately, couldn't get that immediate promotion to Formula 1, but it was written in the stars. It was written in the stars. Rosberg to come back. I miss him. He's young. Nah, he's done. He's done. He's Nico Rosberg. If Rosberg was going to come back, he'd have done it by now. Obviously retired at the end of 2016 on the back of his championship. And yeah, no, he won't be coming back now. He'll be like 36, 37 now, Rosberg. But he did retire young. He retired at like 30 years old, 31. I mean, that's living the dream, isn't it? If you can retire at 30. Rob will have a go. Yeah, no worries. I won't be staying on much longer. You know, pretty much that's it. But it has all moved so quick in the driver market this year. We've not even had a proper silly season. The silly season's been 5 days instead of flipping 5 weeks or 5 months. You know, it's all happened so quick. Vettel to Aston Martin. Vettel retiring on the Thursday. Alonso replacing him by Monday. That was announced by Monday, and by Tuesday afternoon, bang, Piastri in at Alpine. But yeah, I think that's about it, guys. Obviously, this is a really exciting news for Formula 1, and it's great that Alpine are looking to the future as well, and they've not just plucked, you know, they could have plucked Daniel Ricciardo, you know, maybe they could have rung Ricciardo and said, you know, you're obviously not having a great time at McLaren, you know, come to us, or you'll come back to us, because he did race for that team. But I'm glad they haven't done that. I'm glad they've taken a little bit of a risk. I mean, is it a massive risk? No, like, obviously this guy's massively talented, but it's a little bit of a risk. Obviously taking a young driver. They could have played it safe. They haven't. I'm glad they haven't. This guy fully deserves a race seat, like I was saying before. Deserves to be in Formula 1 this year. But that's just sometimes how it works out. Sometimes you have to have a year on the sidelines, but sometimes you can just jump straight in. I remember about 3 or 4 years ago, I think it was Albon, Norris and Russell, I think it was those 3, all came from F2 to F1 in the same year. Like, it was just a triple promotion. There was 3 seats available, or 3 seats that they could take, and 3 got promoted from Formula 2 to Formula 1. I think that was in, 2019, I want to say. The end of 18. Or the end of 17. I lose track of it. I think the end of 18. All 3 of them jumped in. And then some years you'll get 2 or 3 years in a row where no Formula 2 driver gets the promotion to F1. And there's champions that come and go. You know, I think Nick De Vries was champion a few years ago, and now maybe he's missed his time. There was a young driver called Robin Frins years ago, about a decade ago. He should have got his chance in Formula 1. Had a few tests with Sauber and Caterham and stuff. He never got his chance. Obviously, he's had a really successful career away from Formula 1. But it just you've got to be in the right place at the right time sometimes. And Oscar Piastri being in the Alpine Driver Academy is now paid off, because as Fernando Alonso leaves, it has opened the door, and I know a lot of fans will be absolutely buzzing that this guy's got a seat. And Australian fans especially, with there's not that much to cheer about with Daniel Ricciardo at the moment, but like we've been saying to Taxi these last few weeks, he's got a new man to cheer on. And it's a young, exciting talent, and I can't wait to see how he does in the Alpine. And listen, it could be a really exciting season for Alpine. They could have, they're on the up. I think they'll beat McLaren to 4th this year in the Constructors' Championship, which is another reason why I'm so surprised that Fernando Alonso's jumped ship. This team's on the up, big time. Unless, I was saying the other day, was Alonso pushed? But it seems like he wasn't. It seems like the Alonso announcement sort of came out of nowhere for Alpine, and but the speed that this has happened makes me think they already sort of had some sort of agreement with Piastri, and obviously, like we say, it takes McLaren off the scent as well. They might have been sniffing, and no, the door has been closed, and it is Oscar Piastri that will pair with Esteban Ocon. And what an exciting young lineup that is. Both drivers probably under the age of 25. I'm not exactly sure how old Esteban Ocon is. Let me find out, because he might be one of the youngest driver lineups in Formula 1. I know AlphaTauri is pretty young. Ocon age, here we go. Oh, so he's 25. Yeah, so he's a young, exciting, he'll be 26 soon, Esteban Ocon. But it is a young, exciting driver lineup for Alpine, this. It's looking good for the future with Alpine. But yeah, guys, that's about it. The world of Formula 1 is not sleeping at the moment, but it's good. If we can have breaking news like this every day of the summer break, I'll be buzzing, because it might be a bit of a cold 3 weeks for this channel now. Might do a bit of the gaming in between, but I don't want to absolutely slam that. Yeah, there might be a bit of gaming, but if there's any breaking news, obviously I'll be on. Any big breaking news. I feel like the next thing might be the confirmation that Porsche will take a big stake in Red Bull racing. I imagine that'll be the next big thing in a couple of days, maybe tomorrow or the 4th. I think it was rumoured that news was going to be confirmed on the 4th of August, that Porsche will be buying into Red Bull. So that'll be a big one. I'll be live for that. Other than that, see you in Belgium, innit? But yeah, we've got to bridge the gap in the summer break, but things have moved quickly, and Oscar Piastri will pair with Esteban Ocon for 2023. And I will make that a graphic, Anto, and I will make next time there's a bit of breaking news, we'll come on and we'll do who signed up for 23, who do I think is going to take the remaining seats, will there be any shocks, will McLaren take a gamble, but yeah, Alpine have taken the plunge on young superstar Australian 21-year-old Oscar Piastri. He's confirmed to be racing in Formula 1 for 2023. That's all about it for me, guys. But do drop a like if you haven't enjoyed the stream. And yeah, another exciting young talent emerges. And thank God he's not had 2 years on the track. He should already be here, but he is confirmed. So get in there, Tax. I know if you watch this on a repeat, because I know it's about 5 AM in Australia, which is weird, because why they confirmed it while Australia is asleep, I do not know. It has moved very quick. But yeah, that's it, guys. Drop me a like if you've enjoyed it, and please do subscribe if you are a fan of Formula 1, because I'm live for every single qualifying and every single race in the Formula 1 World Championship, which will be the next one, the Belgian Grand Prix, in about 3 weeks' time. So bear with me, and yeah, see you soon, guys. Peace out, peace out, peace out. That sounded like Jamsy then. Safe.